In their work, foresters have always had to face the consequences of various natural disasters. It is an inherent and integral, though very harsh, part of our forest work. Unfortunately, this is due to evolving climate changes which are clearly perceivable to foresters. This fact is really tangible and visible, and the state forests and their employees face now and will face in the future more and more such disasters, which are huge challenges to them. We're standing at the place where, on the 4th of July 2002, the worst hurricane in the post-war history of Poland swept through. At that time, the hurricane damaged more than 33,000 hectares of forests located in 6 forest districts. The very epicenter of the hurricane concentrated in Pisz Forest District, where we're standing now. In total, more than 12,000 hectares were damaged, out of which almost 4,000 were totally destroyed. Behind me you can see 3 such areas, where seedlings from a container nursery, annual seedlings from our nursery, or nurseries of nearby forest districts, and biennial seedlings were planted. The forest restoration had taken place since 2003, where renewal of post-hurricane areas in the Pisz Forest District commenced, up until 2009, the year regarded by us as the end of renewal of post-hurricane areas. In total, more than 26 million pieces of seedlings were planted in Pisz Forest District. A blow of strong wind, one could say, the whirling air, a brief tornado lasting 2 to 3 minutes, destroyed here the achievements of 80 years' work. Here, trees felled within the area of approximately 550 hectares. It is a distance of more or less 18 kilometers. We estimate that approximately 100,000 of cubic meters was destroyed in total. This was an undisputed loss, estimated as approximately 20 million zlotys. We are in the area affected by the disaster in 2012. We used clear-cutting method to clear 470 hectares. We left about 10 hectares for natural succession. More than 130,000 cubic meters of timber had to be removed from this area. The situation in 2012 was similar to that in 2017. The end of the year was very wet, therefore there were problems with the transport of timber, and we had to patch roads on the spot. These areas were completely regenerated by us. We finished this process 2 years ago. We used, first of all, bare root seedlings as our plantings. However, at that time, our container nursery in Dobrzejewice was already able to produce several million container-grown seedlings. They mainly included pine, but also lime and birch. The disaster in 2012, which affected our forests, is unimaginable. The most beautiful forest standing in Rytel Forest District has disappeared. Now we have nothing. What happened in Tucholskie forests on the night of the 11th to the 12th of August 2017 was an extraordinary and extreme event. Unfortunately, we're afraid that there will be more and more events like that. 95% of my forest range was turned, one could say, upside down. The windstorm destroyed all forest stands. Only single fragments were left. We will have to cope with this, and we may not be able to do it within a year's time. During the hurricane that we named the Hurricane of the Century, approximately 10 million trees were destroyed, damaged, broken within the area of approximately 80,000 hectares. It is more, much more than the entire metropolitan area of Warsaw, the capital city of Poland. This was a major natural disaster, the biggest disaster throughout the existence of the state forests, i.e. for 95 years. During the first weeks, we had to provide electricity to all residents. We, the foresters, helped to a great extent the power suppliers remove such damage. After that, our big problem was to quickly find companies which would start harvesting huge masses of wood. Around 1,500 employees from the regional directorates and forest district offices worked for the single purpose of cleaning up the consequences of the disaster. In addition, approximately 250 private forest service companies, of course with thousands of their employees involved, using more than 1,100 harvesters. Until today, we have cleaned more than 90% of the area. The range of work was 10 times higher than the yearly average. We had to measure it, and in order to do it, we signed an agreement with the company Dral, which provided us with the equipment for photo-optic measurement of stacked wood. Thanks to that, we were able to measure and sell such wood. Most of the roads were inaccessible. We had to repair and harden them. In total, we've already spent approximately 5 million zlotys for the roads, which in fact were used only for the transport of timber. According to our estimates, the costs incurred by the state forests to clean up the areas of such a disaster amount to approximately 800 million zlotys. Currently, we are at the stage of renewal of those areas, i.e. restoring the forest. The first plantings have already started, but work will be continued for a long time in the future, at least the 5 nearest years. In the current year, we have had 800 hectares of plantings, i.e. about 6 million seedlings. To reflect the scale, we should say that in order to restore those damaged areas, the 25 forest districts that suffered the most as a result of the cataclysm will need approximately 240 million seedlings. We mostly buy seedlings from nurseries located within the area of the Regional Directorate of the State Forests in Toruń. This year, approximately 2 million pieces of seedlings will come. This figure is given for one forest district, Rytel Forest District. Of course, there are many more forest districts which take seedlings from those nurseries. According to our estimates, the total costs on the state forest side for elimination of the disaster results and to renew the damaged forest in Tucholskie forests will amount to 1,600 billion zlotys. This is why it is so crucial for an organization to use its resources wisely. This allows to cope with such huge challenges using its own resources and reserves without any direct support from the state budget.